Hi, this is Chuck Grigsby of Primetime Mentoring and Tutoring Educational Services, and I'm here today to give you a little bit of a report of some mentoring, volunteership things I've been doing here with a group of young people. And I wanted to give you an overall report on some of the different things that I dealt with and learned how to deal with when it comes to really promoting positive change in the right direction for these young people. I was fortunate enough to work with a group of eighth grade boys, ranged from the age of 13 through 15. And I served as a volunteer with a restorative justice nonprofit organization that was nice enough to let me be able to be involved as a community representative was my role. And within that role, I provided leadership and directions to individuals utilizing resources within the school, the community, and within the family structures. And then, what I was advocating for was positive, sustainable outcomes on behalf of these individuals and groups, and really try to address a lot of the issues that socially, academically, that the school administration is dealing with, the teachers, the students themselves, and the family members as well when it comes to these young people being in an educational environment and having some major challenges to be successful with that. One of the main things that really I saw from my experience here from the last few months was chronic absenteeism. There are students who were missing a lot of school for various reasons, and to me, that was really the biggest hurdle that many students had or were involved with that really was very disruptive to their success with their academic achievements. Some more things that were going on. We had some authority-defied behaviors. We had some self-esteem issues. Some of the social skills were lacking. Some of the students didn't have any family support. The peer groups were not helpful in a positive way. There was a lot of lack of accountability in all phases. The resources were low. We had economically challenged families. The personal value systems of the kids and how they viewed things was not conducive to their environment of education. They came in and dealt with a lot of cultural stigmatism. Some of these kids had post-traumatic stress. Some of them were involved in criminal activities, drug abuse, possibly mental health issues. Some of the kids were coming from violent communities, and the funding streams weren't there for those communities. Hygiene, clothing, housing, and suspensions were really some of the major issues that I was involved with and really engrossed with as far as trying to find solutions so we can get the kids back on track with a lot of the different things that were going on. Now, as a community representative, I was under this situation where I was viewed as a mentor, a leader, and the style of leadership that really stuck with the young people was leading by example. Just really carrying myself in a certain way, speaking with them on certain topics and issues. We talked from anything from self-respect, youth development, to culturally positive involvement in the community and doing things based on who they were and what their cultural identity was and their ethnicity. We talked a little bit about really how to have social interactions in a way that were not destructive to themselves and others around them. So it was a pretty big challenge when it came to really dealing with that, along with some of the major issues that I had mentioned earlier, and really having conflict resolution within the restorative justice setting. When you think about restorative justice and the definition of that, it's really a way where you have principles or you have an approach to seek to repair harm or conflict and sometimes violent situations and harmful situations to the young people that they were dealing with, whether it was self-induced or whether it was something that came to them by their peers or whatnot. So within that structure, within that paradigm, if you will, that we had to come across, with and really working with these young people, you really had to be very fluid with your approach because they responded to different things. The group was initially started off with 8 young people, and throughout the time frame of this this group that we were having, we ended up with 4 young people who were successfully not expelled or in a situation where they were serving some type of disciplinary policy within the school that they were under restrictions, if you will. So within this experience, I really learned a lot of different things about really, as I said earlier, about being flexible with your approach and how they responded to you as a person, as a facilitator, as a leader. And when you have a group of 8 boys and you have some of these issues there, you really have to be humble enough to know that everything that you do and all the energy that you put into it, sometimes it doesn't matter really what you cover or what you address. You're just not going to make that connection. But when we did make connections, we really had some gains in really self-discovery, self-awareness, how people view you, how you view the world, and within the time frame of where they're at in life between 13 and about 15 years old, but how important it is to really understand that the world is going to view you not as a child anymore, but really as a young adult, and really as someone who has a certain amount of expectations socially that you have to abide by. And obviously within some of the dynamics, a lot of them did struggle with that, did struggle with being able to kind of understand that there things they got away with just a year ago, 6 months ago, it's just not going to fly, and there's consequences to their actions, and the reactions to their behavior and attitude and the things they were involved with were going to be a lot more severe in what society or the community was going to react to. So, we had some really in-depth, if you will, activity that really was disruptive to their success that we really had to work through and hopefully come to a certain amount of discovery within ourselves, within our group, that we need to make different choices when it comes to those choices that were made when we were just 6 months or earlier in life to now where we are now. So as I said before, these boys were 8th grade, getting ready to go into high school, into a new environment, into a new situation, and how important it is to be able to understand that change and that self-expectation of themselves and how people view them. So by the time we really got and built trust within the group and really got a chance to talk with them and really find out and peel back the layers, a lot of the kids were very charismatic. They had great personalities. They had a big imagination, but it was hard to be able to get a lot out of that because of some of the academic underachievement areas that they were in, some of the exposure they had to their, outside their community as far as kind of how to go about some of these different things. So we really talked about, dreams and really thinking about what that dream is for themselves and really how to apply the goals towards those dreams and make that connection to the dedication and really being humble and finding out what the reality is of where you're at today so you can move forward and make steps for your tomorrow. So that was a wonderful process to do with them. We had some great exercises and discussions pertaining to dreams, goals, and dedication. And they really responded well to that. And it really gave them a moment to really think about the reality of them actually doing something other than just saying it. And I also really want to emphasize a lot of alternative routes they can go into when it comes to a lot of different things they're focused on or things they like to do, and really have them see themselves in different types of roles that they never thought about being involved with before. So an example of that is I had a young person who said that he wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to, be involved with music. And I asked him, I said, well, have you ever thought about doing things with a radio station? Have you ever thought about really recording yourself in a podcast and really coming up with material so you're in a situation that you start to get a practice of being able to speak in front of others and talk with other different types of people other than yourselves in a way that you learn how to communicate and get your message across. And just those little inferences of suggesting different routes. I had a young person who was all about football, nothing else was important to him. He didn't care about school, he didn't care about his classes, he didn't care about really honestly participating very much in anything but probably what he liked to do was football. And I talked to him a little bit and discovered that we can be involved and be passionate about something like that, but have you thought about, for example, another role as in being someone who's a personal trainer who is helping other people get healthy, be involved, learn about your body, learn about other people's bodies in a way where you can be someone that has another route that you can apply on top of the football and be involved with athletics in a different type of role. So those are ways that we try to expand upon that dream, and then going in depth more with the goals. It was a really challenging because setting goals for a lot of people is very difficult because you have big goals, you have little goals, and going about that is very difficult if you don't have a lot of mini goals within that. And that concept was a challenging concept to kind of really get through them about how their mini goals were very, very important. It was really great to have an opportunity to talk with them about how their everyday behavior of them doing something or not doing something really affects the big picture of the outcome of their goal. So for example, like if they don't go to school or if they're not paying attention, it's going to hurt them ultimately by the end of the school year when they have testing and assessment work, and they're going to fail within that ultimate goal there. So the mini goal is, for example, getting up, going to school more consistently, maybe asking questions more in class, and maybe admitting to the fact that you just don't know and you need help. Getting those types of conversations and discussions with them and talking with them about that really helped us at least start thinking about how crucial it is to be able to have realistic goals and mini goals within their big goals of what they wanted to do when it came to that dream they have. And then obviously the dedication was really just being more about practicing what you preach. I told them, as an example, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri originally, and they call that the show me state. And basically what I meant by that was that you could tell me all day long about what you want to do and what you want to get accomplished, what you like to do, but at the end of the day, it's about what you show me, about what you do, and what you do when no one's looking, and really that accountability that's associated with that. So I was really very, very happy to be able to have some of those tough conversations and hopefully have growth within that dynamic and really get the kids in a way to be really thinking about themselves and how they really view themselves with that accountability, and how important it is for them to kind of really take those steps and moving forward with that. With the Restorative Justice Program, we work closely with the administration and some of the school dynamics and policies and the teachers, and it really allowed us and myself to really appreciate how challenging it is for the people within the school to really address some of the different things that come into play in the school now today, and how limited they are with some of the policies and the guidelines that they have to abide by. And obviously, it was more reactionary in effect to the preventative types of things, just because of, like I said, some of the issues that come into that environment of education. And we all know that all educational entities can always use more money to be able to address more issues that are now plaguing the student who is in 2019, 2020 going forward when it comes to education. With that being said, we did have, we had a couple suspensions. We had some major issues going on outside the classroom in the community that the boys were involved with that was negative impact towards their ability to be in school, when it comes to not being absent or penalized or serving a penalization of them getting back into the classroom. I have to say that this particular group of boys were in an academically challenged situation. We were not able to really address those types of things just with the dynamic of the group and the type of things that we were trying to address as far as socially. But we do know that, and I do know that they do need to have some type of academic support on top of just the everyday things about that I've been discussing with you earlier today. So you know, there's a lot of big hurdles within that, and these boys, in some ways, I like to say that they're surviving and just getting through, you know, this restorative justice role, this community representative role, I think personally had them increase the percentage of their possibly having success one day going forward, and really having some breakthroughs, you know, and give them a chance to really hit that reset button and move forward to a new chapter in their high school and focus on positive relationships so they can make it through in a way that they can realize how special they are and what they can offer to the community and themselves going forward as young adults as they get older. So I wanted just to really wrap up that experience. I was really fortunate to really get to know these young people, get to really peel back some layers, and really be empowered to be able to help more individuals, mentor more individuals, lead them, show them that there's alternative ways to who they could be and how they can go about doing it. And it was just such a wonderful, challenging experience, and really addressing these personal and social issues that they had. In some ways, we had a lot of success. And like I said before, we had 8 originally start, and we finished with strong 4. And I just really believe that they have a potential now to be more successful within their participation within this group that we had. We met we met twice a week for about an hour within the school environment, and we're really able to, in groups of 2 to 3 to sometimes 4 to 5, we were really able to really have that intimacy of discussion in a way where we were able to peel back some of those barriers that they put up in a way that they didn't show weakness, they didn't show vulnerability, but they also were comfortable enough to be able to have self-discovery and growth. And so I'm very proud of this experience. I'm very proud of this volunteership. Very fortunate that I was able to align myself up with this nonprofit restorative justice organization. I look to do more of this going forward into the next school year, and possibly a bigger role. Obviously, Primetime Mentoring and Tutoring Education Services is going to be focused on academics, but we do know the mentoring and the leadership side of that has to go hand in hand in today's young person when it comes to being able to have them increase the percentage of success going forward. Chuck Grigsby, Primetime Mentoring and Tutoring Education Services. I just want to appreciate and thank everyone that has been supporting what we're doing, and we're going to go forward and keep doing what we do in the community, keep what we're doing to support teachers, the school administration, and our community overall, and the families, most importantly, the students as well, to be successful in ways that hopefully, if without our involvement, they would be in a situation where they probably wouldn't be as successful, but with us being involved, we give hopefully a better chance of that success in a positive light. Thank you again, Chuck Grigsby, Primetime Mentoring and Tutoring Educational Services. Take care, guys. We appreciate you. You can find out more about Primetime Mentoring and Tutoring Educational Services through our website. It's called primetimeistherightTime.org. PrimetimeistherightTime.org. My name is Chuck Grigsby. If you have any questions, you would like to get a hold of me, you have some young people in this world that possibly can benefit from having a discussion with me in a group format or one-on-one format, I'd be more than happy to discuss that with you. There's no charge at all involved when it comes to my services or my time. The more young people that I can get involved with in a positive way, the better. And That's the most important thing to us. So let us know if we can help you in some way, in some form. Take care.